And just like that, Cello getting his first kill, or excuse me, his first death rather, in round number 10 of this matchup, which leads me to say my next line. I'm not going to say I told so, but I told so. Boys, that was the throttling that we forecasted it to be. And could it have gone any smoother outside of a 16-0 there for the Luminosity?
I think that was a pretty convincing win, and unfortunately we didn't see Dignitas do pretty much anything. You know, it looked really lackluster in the beginning, going down 12-0, not even being able to kill Cello the first 10 rounds. You know, there's just a lot of stuff that didn't work for Dignitas. And we talked about it out there, you know, how is Luminosity being able to pick Cobblestone every single time? You know, people should really avoid that map against them because they're pretty good at it.
Yeah, it baffles me. And we've seen it, like, it's kind of been a repeating history with Brazilian teams in Pro League as well. They're allowed to play Cobblestone, and they do pretty well at Cobblestone. But, you know, if teams are not going to keep them honest about it, then, you know, it's within their power and obviously within the reason to pick it as much as possible because you can see the result it gives, and they are competitive on it versus, I'd say, probably any team in North America right now on that very map. So, you know, if you can go to it, then you do it because you want to secure those wins. But, yeah, no, that was definitely a one-sided game, not a whole lot of hope, not a whole lot of positive things to draw out from this on the side of Dignitas, I guess. Voltage had as good of a showing as you can have, I guess, in a 16-14 loss. Outside of that, though, it was just very stagnant, very, I guess, well, uncreative. Yeah, it's just poor showing. But then again, Cobblestone CT side is really tough to play when you play versus a slow, methodical team like Luminosity, because if you can't win your initial duels, obviously you're going to get frustrated in terms of how you rotate, how you deal with that. And you could see, like, in multiple instances where Luminosity would find one pick towards the B-bomb site, that would immediately create a rotation that Luminosity would pounce on it. You know, at a certain point, they had free bearings as to where they want to go. You know, they could swap around, just make quick rotations over to any other bomb site at any given time, and Dignitas was constantly just be in the middle, having no idea what's going on.
I mean, and for what it's worth, it doesn't take rocket appliances to kind of figure out what's going on here. Freedom of movement over on the Luminosity side, and just seemingly out-shooting their opponents. And a lot of times it wasn't really something where they had to execute on a lot of tactical part of the game. They were just simply better in most facets.
I mean, they were outmatched on pretty much all aspects you can be outmatched on in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. You know, I'm a little bit disappointed in Team Dignitas. I expected a little bit more, especially maybe and reading a little bit too much into that tweet. You know, saying that you expect 2 victories and everything else would be a disappointment. You know, now go and lose 16-4 without even getting around the first 12 rounds. That's not the way it should be going. So
maybe he was talking about Overpass, though. Maybe.
Hopefully he was talking about
You'd
Overpass.
hope so.
Maybe, just maybe, Cobblestone is going to be water under the fridge. We are going to be going into Overpass. That is the next and final map here for us in this morning. At a seemingly charming morning at that. The sun is starting to come up here in Denmark. And with that, Overpass will be the final digital battleground that we go on here, boys.
Yeah, obviously, again, not a whole lot of information to go off of in terms of Dignitas. We haven't really seen them play the map all that much. We do know that Luminosity are not necessarily terrified of playing it either, though. So
not one of the best maps, though. So
no,
it's a little bit of wiggle room for Team Dignitas. And as you said, not much to go off. I'm going to take the safe approach this time around and say it can't get any worse than it just did. So
accurate.
I'm looking into some improvement from Team Dignitas this time around.
Who knows? I mean, this could be a simple case of denial and error. I mean, these guys are definitely a team that has earned their spot here through the Mountain Dew League, but ultimately they're going to have their work cut out for them for the duration of the season. It isn't going to be an uphill battle. And with that, I don't see you guys changing your predictions.
Correct.
Is that accurate to say?
Yes.
You're clever.
Pimp, I just want to ask you one more time. Do you want to change your prediction?
No.
Okay.
Not even for the show.
Okay.
No.
Wow. We'll get back to that. You can guarantee that in the post-show we will be going over Pimp's entire distance here on this earth. With that, we're going to bring in the commentators who are eagerly standing by to bring you this last bit of action tonight. Jason and Harold, take it away, guys.
All in Dignitas. Let's roll. Here we go. Overpass is up next. And if you thought Cobblestone was a nightmare, this one can get ugly pretty quickly if you're not prepared for Overpass properly.
Yeah, I mean, we get a nice map, though. This is definitely my favorite map in the game.
Is it really?
Yeah, 100%. Both to watch and to play.
I think that's like one of the first signs of a psychopath, is that this is the favorite map.
For real, no. I think it's fantastic.
It's a cool map, but I mean, favorite map? That's a bit...
What would you say your favorite is, Jason?
It's a bit wild. I don't know. I like Inferno. Train's pretty cool.
I can get behind Inferno. I'm not a Train fan. But Overpass, this is where it's truly at. This is the map that separates the boys from the men. And, well, let's see, as we have Luminosity versus Team Dignitas. We just saw Team Dignitas get a bit of a spanking on Cobble. Now we head on through to this fine map already. Yep, going to be doing damage. Oh, Cello's here as well by the tree, and it is a little bit of deforestation for him over here towards Long as he cuts down 3 of the players. Well, 2 for him and 1 for Yell. It is going to be Dignitas now trying to play this with...
I think Dignitas having to start on the T side of this map is like the cruelest form of torture. After that display on Cobble. You would have liked for them to at least have maybe gotten the easier side early just to see if they could build something up. Either way, 2 on 4 early on in this pistol round. Great long stack from Luminosity. There's Mitch. Gonna lead the way. No utility, no armor. They just got to run in and get the headshots. Easier said than done. Well, that's a good start. Made this work, and now Mitch is close up, and he's gonna find Showtime as well. That looked very easy. They've made that look stylish.
Yeah, so that is going to be the pistol round secured for Dignitas. Obviously on Cobble, when we saw them do this in the second half on the T side, they immediately lost the Antica. Let's hope this isn't the case this time, and they can make this that much more competitive. So for Spain, we on the cards now for Luminosity. CZs across the board. And that goes to show the extent of just how powerful this gun is. And well, 2 players down here towards Connector early on, leaving Mitch to hold for any aggression over at Monster. And meanwhile, Voltage and Grim lock down the push out from Fountain and Long.
What control of these stairs? They've used a lot of utility to get it. No, I imagine we'll see a reverse boost. Someone is looking for it, but actually that's going to be a good kill. Showtime spam down very low, and MCE does not want to open that door until very end, and he finds the timing. That's a pretty good read of the situation from him. Meanwhile, there is pressure in bathrooms. 2 players, PKL and Cello. Dignitas just now starting to move up. There's Nekes with a dink, but he's got 1 behind him. That's Mitch with the kill, and they're going to just run down the stairway. Yell with another one, and he knows there's another opposition, but actually he's going to get swarmed. He's got no bullets left, no ammunition. PKL and Cello on the flank. There's the 10 again. Molotov out towards Catwalk, and that's the big kill. Voltage may have just done it. Cello has 3 HP. I do not think there's a possibility of him winning this round. Now, Voltage is going to be able to get in a new spot. Cello has no information of where he's gone. And it would have to be an amazing shot here for Cello to win this.
Yeah, Cello's gone creeping in. Voltage wrapped all the way around behind a Cello. It's not looking good for him here. Voltage has played this perfectly. Cello has the AK, doesn't check short. Gonna look to try and save, and Voltage going to be able to deny that. Finds the shot. The AK's been carried over toward him as well. And that will be the second round for Dignitas, but they take heavy casualties.
I mean, on the T side, it's a little bit easier to manage those losses. You obviously don't want them. And you can see Dignitas going to 4 MAC-10s to try and recoup some of those. It's just going to be an all-out B rush, and Luminosity on the CT side is all-out rushing along A, or just stacking up in towards the bathroom. So for Dignitas, getting started well. After an unlikely pistol round win, a 2-on-4 they're able to convert, and now they bring it into a 3-round lead. The question becomes, these MAC-10s, are they going to keep all 4 of them into the next round?
Yeah, you imagine you really want to send a couple of these guys hunting as well, because if you go into this round with 4 MAC-10s and get nothing from them, you're going to be a little bit devastated. terrifying conga line into T-spawn. They've all grouped up. I have left the Yell over here in toilets, and they're going to go hunting for him. It's just so close to discovering him. Yell's been spotted. Yell's going to go down. That's $600 made, not the end of the world. But Dignitas onto a third. Now the buy comes in at 4 Luminosity, and as you kind of pointed out, there's something. The ballsy thing to do is to keep him, go for the bonus round. Mac 10's pretty good, and you know, already we see a few players buying up with that head armor, so they would still be fairly lethal.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well if you're Dignitas. Take some risks. This would be a good way to kind of propel your own economy. So yeah, why not just go for it? As well, just because they invested in the Mac 10s. Also, if you just upgrade them right off the bat, it feels like they're kind of a waste in a way. So we'll see what they're able to bring out in this. We've seen these Mac 10s do some pretty crazy things, even against M4s, even on the full buys. So I would like to see it.
I mean, you're a big fan of Vega.
Yeah.
And they the Mac 10 buy.
They had a couple nice rounds of it, certainly. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch. See there the coach of Dignitas suiciding. I don't know if he accidentally joined the server, if we're going to get a restart of the round or what's going on here, but a small delay. He's all slumped over having a good time.
They're just going to keep going with it. They leave the deceased body of their coach back in spawn. Just shows how ruthless as Dignitas side could be. They've already got to push through the defense. The Mac 10 does take the first. Neck is playing around the pillar. Going to get swarmed on down, and these Mac 10s. Defense of Luminosity. Voltage going to get rid of Yell, and oh no, what's going on here? Voltage in with 3 kills. That is $1,800 made, and it's all on the back of the trusty Mac 10. They get free upgrades all day long. And now Luminosity, they're gonna have to partial buy down.
That's kind of weird because I thought Luminosity actually spotted that rush out with the jump over the wall. I mean, it still came in pretty fast, and the timing was perfect just as the Molotov kind of faded away, but it was a good 2 seconds, I felt, for Luminosity to kind of react to the situation and throw out some counter utility or just have their gun out and be ready for it, but Mac 10s get all the entries, and now all of a sudden, yeah, you upgrade to free rifles, you have the bonus money from those kills, and this is looking like a very impressive start for Dignitas on this T side of Overpass. Maybe we spoke too soon. Maybe the desk spoke too soon, although to be fair, we didn't really see a whole lot out of Dignitas in that first map, so fair play. We'll see how long they can keep riding this wave.
Plus, you can't ever feel like it'd be comedic for after weeks of teasing about Pimp having the side. Actually win a map.
Is it the one time he doesn't pick them?
I think he picked them the other. I think he said like 1-1 with them as his usual go-to,
Okay.
but this time he was just like, no, 2-0 Luminosity. But here's Yell. He's up in Party. I almost called that the wrong call out. He's gonna be chilling. Here's here. Shots with the Dig. MC is gonna find him. He will go down. That's the man advantage taken early on at 4 Dignitas. Showtime's also been tagged down at 1 HP, so he's seen better days down there towards that B-bomb site. Cello currently up here towards A, all on his lonesome, hanging around outside the toilets. Does spot Voltage. He's going to go pushing through. I know exactly where he is, so he's actually been able to find one. Now XC comes pouncing on in from behind to drop PK out. Going to try and deal with the man in the toilets, the man in the bathrooms that's been causing them so many problems. MC is going to beat him to it. Showtime's tagged to 1 HP, and he's going to go down. It's all on Neckers.
All on Neckers, and they're going to buy in the next round, so you might as well go for this if you're him. See if he chooses to be so bold, but awkward angles, and if Nekas doesn't get one kill here pretty soon, there's no real reason to stick around any longer. You've given it a shot, and there's the spray. It doesn't connect, and yeah, now you might as well back off. Grim's even got an angle. You do find that kill, and there's MCE dropping behind you, so no chance of him getting away. MCE with a triple kill. That's 5-0. Full losing bonus in the favor of Luminosity. Or, I guess, you know, not in the favor of Luminosity, but you get the point.
And do you not think, you know, in terms of mentality, Jason, if you've just won map 1 versus a team and it was incredibly dominant, there was never a moment where you weren't in control, do you think that would get to you quite a bit if they now have this lead developing on the T side of Overpass? Would that tilt you per se?
No, not necessarily. I do think this isn't like the most surprising of things. I think it's a much more common occurrence that a team has such a dominant first map victory that the second map starts out slow because they're kind of riding that high of how much they dominated. And if you go back to Cobble, I mean, there was really not even a whole lot of rounds where Dignitas had even a chance in them. So Luminosity probably feeling very comfortable, maybe going through the motions a little bit, but being down 0-5 might put you on notice. Good kill from Showtime. This is one of those games as well. I think Luminosity will wake up and realize if they lose this game, this is a big advantage that other teams in Pro League will have against them. If they have a loss to Dignitas, a roster that probably won't be getting too many wins throughout the season, I'm sure most teams, some of the teams even that they'll be competing with for a playoff spot, will have over them. So they've got to be careful here. Cello right around the corner. Niel gives up the angle with the op. Stack gets busted up. There's the flash. There's the beacon. It's so perfect, but the spray's not. Does get one kill. It's a good trade. Dignitas need to make gains at the other side of the map, and they have a chance here. Showtime is now rotated off, and they know exactly where Nekas is, but not able to be taken down initially. A good trade. Voltage needs to use a flashbang, or Grim can just take the face off of Showtime.
Yeah, he's done 3 massive kills in this shot, and the bomb plant will come through. The retake going to be on for Luminosity, and well, Voltage holding down the back line. Grim just keeping his cool inside of the site. They have to try and move quickly here. They don't have utility to flush Grim out into the open, and Voltage still with 2 flashes. Grim spots the first man hop down. Now he's on 4. 1 off the ace. He's going to go for the peek, and Yell's actually to pick that up. 1v1 at times ticked down extremely low. He opts on the defuse, and Voltage starts to peek round. Voltage going to find it. Yell goes down, and Dignitas going to be on to a 6th round, rather.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Oh, really nice start for Dignitas. A great round from Grim. Just hit some stunning shots just immediately. That's really cool to see. After Cobble, where everyone just seemed mismatched on an individual level, finally now we're seeing some of the Dignitas guys let loose and play with a little bit more confidence and a little bit more assertive. And it's giving them results. 6-0 back onto the pistols for this Luminosity side. Looks like Dignitas want to focus most of their attack. In their heads, this will be an anti-eco or an anti-force buy, and they want to use the range of long A to good effect.
Well, starting to creep down long here.
Luminosity has this read, though. Yell is pushed up towards underneath the ladder. Everyone's going to be here from Luminosity. We'll see if they can do anything to stop this.
And they've only got these pistols, and they're going to look to try and use them up close. MC's open up with one onto Nekas, but PKL, he slipped right on by. And now he's in the back line. Missed shot, but Exceed there to pick up the pieces. Showtime. Oh, gonna get himself one out into Grim. And a second. That's the bomb drop. The CZ doing work. Yell's coming in late on this flank, and the longer he takes, the more time Dignitas have to read into it. But Voltage just exposes himself to long there, doesn't go down to it, so they do anticipate that it's clear. Now, miss shot. Exceed picks it up. Dignitas going to go 7-0 up now. Pause cooled on in.
gonna get a technical timeout. Dominant start to this game for Dignitas, but I don't think you can feel too comfortable after we saw what just occurred during that first map. Full losing bonus in the favor of Luminosity, so this upcoming round with just pistols and light armor invested, they're going to be able to have anything they could want. AWPs, utility, it'll all be out on the field. But they need to get started. This is already a good half for Dignitas on the T side of Overpass, and anything more after this is just going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, if somehow Dignitas managed to turn this all around, I don't know what to think. Like, I guess maybe just Cobble really isn't a map for them. Alternatively, Overpass is a very good map for them. I don't know how to interpret this right now. They're 7-0 up, and it has been a bit of a star-studded performance from Grim right now. He's the man who's really been putting up the numbers. Usually it's Exceed that we talk about on this Dignitas roster, I think, is, you know, the real hard-hitting player, and we haven't really seen him have to do that much. I think he's on 6 or 7 kills right now. I think he'd padded his stats in that previous round quite substantially. I think he got 3, if my memory holds correctly. So he's been fairly quiet. So there is still more power on this Dignitas roster that can step up. But they haven't really needed to right now. It feels like they've taken a lot of these rounds relatively easily, and even in the ones where they've, you know, gone a couple of men down, they've had, you know, seemingly everything go against them. They've been able to recover.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great turnaround from that first map. That's not necessarily an easy thing to do, is to just get, you know, destroyed out of a server essentially on map 1 and kind of be able to mentally reset between the 2 maps and be able to come back into this. So really good stuff out of the Dignitas boys. As we've all mentioned, we kind of, you know, everyone wants to see them kind of be competitive, and this is good. This is very good. Oh, we're back on camera. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm impressed with Dignitas. The resilience here to not just come into it in a very negative mindset. But I kind of heard before the whole idea that sometimes it's easier to mentally kind of reset yourself on the back of like what is just a stomp, as opposed to
you can kind of wipe it away and just say everything went wrong. But at the same time, it is, especially for a new team in Pro League, like first season, those losses can get you much more. Like we usually say that about experienced teams that have experienced those blowouts. For a new team that's like put a lot of practice in and everything, very much, you know, I think they're going to be much easier to be upset and kind of emotional after a loss like that. So it is cool to see, and obviously getting out to a quick start on the second map is a big key to that. So everything going well for Dignitas at the moment.
Yeah, I think we have a few of the stats all lined up. That's what I've just heard.
Okay.
So we can take a look. It has been Grim up there top of the board for Dignitas right now. 135 ADR. You can't be too disappointed with that. Obviously, it's still early days. But
I think the wild thing is more that Nekiz and Cello each, you know, the ADR is up there. 100 ADR for Nekiz, 95 for Cello, and still not putting any rounds on the board. I mean, PKL at 0 kills obviously is a little bit of a nightmare. But to have 2 players performing that well and not be able to have even a single round to show for it is kind of is surprising to me. But yeah, Grim and Mitch having good games, obviously, and Grim in terms of frag total. He did have that one massive impact round, almost got the ace, 4 kills with an AK towards that B bomb site. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the big thing that you can point to, is that even on Cobble, even if like there was an advantage for a Dignitas player, they're still losing the gunfight, which is kind of what caused that big of a collapse.
yeah, right now though, I have to say, Dignitas, they've got me believing, Jason. You know, I think it's 7-0 or 6-0 up right now.
They've got you right where they want you to break.
I know, but I'm a sucker for the underdog, and the fact that right now, you know, they're doing so well on this map. I feel like Luminosity, they can still throw so much into the mix, but I want to believe that Dignitas can get this win, because I think for them it's such a big deal to get right. This isn't a team coming into it that, you know, I think most people would just say it's a Luminosity 2-0. I know I would heading into this, and
even if you didn't say it beforehand after the first map, like
yeah,
there was nothing to make you think that Dignitas would still be able to compete. So I think that's kind of the thing, is that first map probably swayed a lot of opinions to a certain degree.
yeah, no, I mean, I can definitely get behind it. Right now, though, Dignitas, they're looking good, and ball very much in their court. I'm hoping that we can see them continue in this fashion And who knows, if they get a 12-0 lead versus Luminosity, maybe all rights can be wronged from that first map.
Okay, now you're just dreaming. Now
Yeah,
you've
well,
lost
you
your
know,
mind.
I like to I set my standards high.
Yeah?
What can I say?
Is that what that is? Is that
Yeah.
you set your standard high? All right.
I like
yeah,
the feeling of disappointment.
Yeah, right. There is just a technical issue, which is why we have this delay. Obviously, the timeout is in there, so just waiting for some of the server issues to come through, and then we'll get back into the action. But yeah, it's what 7-0 for Luminosity, or I mean for Dignitas right now. Yeah, wild stuff in a long night of Counter-Strike here. First day back, first day of week 2 as well. So this is wild. If you guys are just tuning into this map, if it's your first map of this 2-map series, first map was 16-5 for Luminosity. So it's really flipped. The tables have turned. That's where I'm going with that one.
Tables have turned.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, I mean, and who would have thought it would be such like a dominating fashion straight out of the gate from Dignitas? Even in those rounds, it came close, right? That's the crazy bit to me, is that when you think about like how on Cobble, even if they had like the man advantage or if things looked like it was going to go their way, it'd very quickly just be stripped from them. They just couldn't seem to win those gunfights.
Yeah,
it's been quite the opposite on Overpass. Even if they've been 3 men down, we saw Grim in that just monstrous round where he pulls back with 4 massive kills, gets the bomb down on B. He's looking good. So I think to just like remain so resilient is a good look, at least for these Dignitas guys.
Yeah, so far so good. We'll see if they can keep it up. We're going to head to a quick break while the issues get resolved, and when we come back, we'll see if Dignitas has it in them to finish off this map 2 upset.
He almost spotted that climb off the top of the ticket booth. That could have been dangerous. Instead, now he's caught. Second player peeks into the connector and a nice bait on the site from Order, but Nico, 2 shots and 2 kills. Oh, Nico! He finds all 3 on the A site.
We're going to go ahead and take down the bikes. And here comes a spray off a catwalk. Lay picking up 1, 2. Can he grab the 3rd and potentially win this round for Astralis? I don't know. He's going to have to run and stop the defuse. He does it! Ladies and gentlemen, Glaive has found success.
That's insane.
Make that 1. Skadoodle, your turn, you're up, and he's already got the first. He goes, hits Nico in the smoke as well. He doesn't know it, but he goes back out. He's got the slow. Oh my God, how close is that? How fast is Skadoodle? And his turn to stand up 3 in a row in a 1 versus 2. Posted with the waiting, hoping someone gets in vision. Starts off well, Fnatic with the first kill. And that's going to encourage the B take. They're certainly ready for it. Rain, good angle, flush a good trade. Olaf, speed to get inside of the side. AWP, it actually hit. It connected on Guardian, got confused because Olaf came to the top of the ladder, and that's going to leave Olaf up close as well to the bomb, as Golden and Flusha have to be the 2 to pull this back, to force this the distance. Bomb already planted, thankfully, and Flusha with 1, but he's got a lot more to go. In fact, he needs another ace just to keep Fnatic alive and FaZe. Trials and turbulations in finals, and they certainly showed through again. They might finally redeem from last year and get their first IEM championship. It only takes 1 kill. Flusha, he's not going to allow that easily. Gets it down to just Guardian, 17 HP. And that gives Flusha the upper hand as well. Flash out. He's faced off of it, forced off the angle, and Flusha's got us going the distance as he hits the shot, and we tie things up. The man who I thought was going to go for the contact play is suddenly the last alive.
Oh, this is a done round. Guardian now is the question as to whether he'll save the AWP. Good flashbang. Could get a couple more out of this one. And Fnatic are starting to crumble. What's going on? 1 player has found 3 kills. Guardian looking to ace this one out. This could be one of the best rounds of the entire tournament so far. 4 kills picked up. It's down to Crimped. This was a 5 versus 1 map. And he's got time as well.
We'll wait for this to go to time. Incendiary could be a factor because if he puts it in front of Guardian, how does he work back in? It's gone toward the dumpster. That means Guardian knows exactly where to look. Oh! And he's got all 5.
There he is. The world's best sniper comes to life in the 5 versus 1.
Yes, welcome back to ESL Pro League. Last map of the evening, it is Luminosity taking on Dignitas. Dignitas surprisingly with a 7-0 lead here as we close out this day of Counter-Strike action. Those were some cool scenes from Katowice.
They were.
Yeah.
I actually loved that whole event.
Mm-hmm.
Katowice always make for such good such good like moments, and this one was no exception. And well, I mean, like, I'm kind of devastated I wasn't there to watch it in person. I'll be honest with you.
Should have stuck around. It was good times out there in Poland.
I know.
Yeah. So that's those were the top 5 plays. Those were really cool. I'm sure we'll start having some really good montages of the season. We've seen some good actions so far these past few days, or I mean today, and then the first week obviously, which was actually like 3 weeks ago. So it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, the whole situation with the weeks has really messed with me as well. To say that this is actually, what, like week 4? But it's actually only our 2nd week.
Yeah, week 4 since the season started. Week 2 of actual gameplay, yeah. Is a bit wild, and you can see here we are going to be on Overpass, just waiting for things to restart and start back up. At 7-0 after a short technical delay. The players all switch servers, and then we will we'll get right back into this as soon as they kind of restart and get live. Either way, Dignitas with that 7-0 lead, after you can see, and I mean they got bombed out on map 1. It was 16-5. They had no business even being in the server. So this is a great turnaround for a new move up into Pro League.
Yeah, it's looking good right now, especially after how hard they got bodied on Cobblestone just the map before. It was a 12-0 lead for Luminosity originally on that map, and then they were able to close it out 16-5. And now heading in to Overpass, Dignitas have looked fantastic. 7-0 right now, with a couple of key players stepping up, and still a lot more left to give. As you know, we see players like Exceed, for example, not contributing as much as the likes of Grim or Mitch, and obviously he's kind of one of the stars we so often talk about on this Dignitas roster. So you know, he can still very much join the party. And then on the flip side of things for Luminosity, PKL, think he's been struggling a little bit here, still has yet to find a kill. And it's been Nekiz and Cello who have been doing the brunt of the damage for Luminosity. We'd love to see the fruits of that be rewarded.
Well, they're going to just pop the Molotov, go right through the smoke, and that will help get Luminosity going again. Wondering if Dignitas would be able to keep it up after the break, after a short momentum pause, and obviously not able to do it here in this first round back. Now, scoreboard does say 0-0 will update after this round completes. And it will likely show 7-1 as Voltage is the only man left for Dignitas against 4 from Luminosity.
Yeah, there's still a minute left. He is going to look to try and hold on to this AWP, but Luminosity don't want to risk throwing anything away. Nekiz is tagged down low. Bomb, though, very much in their control, and Voltage just looking to hold on to this. If players do come knocking, though, you imagine he will be here to smite them down once again. He's still lingering around, waiting to see maybe if he can catch any of these players out of position. He does. Start to push on in. There is Showtime is sitting firmly on the bomb.
There's no way they're going to offer up any kills to him, just because, you know, first round that they're going to win. And on top of that, you need to be able to have as many players survive. So not going to risk anyone to go chase him down. 1-2-7. Luminosity finally on the board, and with 4 players living, they can have a small buffer to buy if things are to go south in this following round. As, yeah, we're going to get one more quick tech pause, I'm told. But overall, yeah, if you're Luminosity right now, you have to just get on these winning ways. You have to make a comeback into this half, and the losing bonus is going to be reset. So losing players in that previous round would be the absolute worst thing that could possibly happen.
Another dead body back in the Dignitas spawn, so I imagine their coach accidentally hopped in once again. Just really eager to come play by the sounds of it, but here we go, Luminosity sending Yell early on it down in to connect it with this AWP, and he has the crossfire set up with Cello. First kill going to go their way, and now they look to try and refrag. That's the bomb dropped. Fantastic stuff from Cello. It's Grim and Exceed, 2 of the hard hitters for Dignitas to go down, which is really the worst sort of scenario from this Mitch, the other man who's been putting up numbers. He's been tagged down at 7 HP, so already for Dignitas this round looks like a bit of a disaster. MC and Voltage still looking fine, trying desperately to get control of this bomb back, but smokes rain in, they lock off Voltage, and that leaves all the pressure on MC and Mitch over here in mid.
It's a bit wild, though. We saw Dignitas take over those stairs in like the second round, I believe it was, of this half after they won pistol. And they used like 2 Molotovs, nades, and flashbangs. This time just going for a dry peek up the staircase. And not using anything to prevent any kind of punishment. So good pick from Yell. And the follow-up from Cello is great. And now they just evacuate out of that area of the map. And so much time has been wasted by Dignitas trying to like recoup the bomb and trying to do it without taking losses. So here's Yell with the op, maybe getting caught out in the open, but PKL's there to cover. Great kill on to Mitch, who walks right into the bullet. And 20 seconds left. There's not a whole lot that Dignitas can do. They're split, and they're far away from the bomb site, and they've got kills to find.
That's a nice shot out from Voltage, though. He's only got 10 seconds to get this bomb down. 2 players inside of the site. Feels like it should be impossible. And it most definitely is. Cello going to be able to find him. Luminosity will be in with their second round as they look to blaze a trail here into the comeback in this first half. It's very, very one-sided in favor of Dignitas. Another little pause just to really give us time to mull this one over. Another technical pause. Oh, not their body down in the spawn here. Big fans of that.
Yeah, he's loving this. It's a grim picture as weapons are traded over. 7-2, and you can't help but feel like Dignitas maybe has lost a step during that extended that server switch. Looks like it's going to be another B rush. They had a lot of success with this earlier on when they ran it. Timed it so that Molotov is going to be fading right now, and Yell almost getting caught out in the open. Here they are turning the corner, but instead it's a double for Nekes. That's the bomb down as well, and there's no follow-up from the rest of Dignitas. Great kill from Yell with the op, and this side is closed, and now there's even a flank coming in, and now it's looking great for the Brazilians. Spraying down. Nekes is going to find a third. He's been phenomenal in the 2 rounds that they've gone fast towards B since after the break. I think he's had like 7 or 8 kills in both of them combined. So he's holding strong at this B bomb site. And Luminosity going to start clawing themselves back into this match. It'll be a third when all is said and done here. Good kill from Voltage. It's all about taking those weapons away at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he might be about more than just that. He's pulled it back to a 1v3 now. Starting to progress down here towards short. PKL is in connector. They're ready to try and catch him off guard. Voltage looking the wrong way. Timing is going to be everything here. And as he goes walking away, he will just look to try and save with 25 seconds left. Bomb down, firmly in control of Luminosity. Takes 2 weapons out of their hands, and that will be it. Luminosity on to a third round. Since coming back from the tech pause, everything has been coming up Luminosity. But you imagine with these little studs, there might be another tech pause on our horizon.
Yeah, there it is. A little bit delayed. Op saved by Voltage. And yeah, Luminosity climbing back into it. 3-2-7. Starting to look good after this, after a rough start. Getting back in the swing of things, mostly off the back of Nekes, who has had a good couple of rounds of defense at that B bomb site.
Yeah, now Nekes has been one of the guys to step up. Him and Showtime locking down B time and time again, and even then, now as we see Luminosity actually getting to bring the AWP out on Yell, I feel like we've seen a bit of a resurgence from him. PKL finding some success and actually managing to get a couple of frags on the board. Always going to be confidence boosting.
Yeah, definitely is. And we're going to see if something else changes. We're going to go for another short break as players need to change servers again. We'll see if that's going to shift the winds of momentum for this game. And stay tuned. We'll be right back. Yes, welcome back to ESL Pro League. Just coming out of the technical issues as players are rejoining a new server once again. 7-3 in the favor of Dignitas. They've got quite a decent lead, although it has been a 3-0 run for Luminosity outside of the first break. They seem to have everyone calmed down and started hitting their shots, so that's always good to see from the Brazilians.
Yeah, new server. New round, same sick matchup. Dignitas, they had a 7-0 lead, but in the last few rounds, Luminosity have started to claim their revenge. And there is no sweeter taste than the taste of revenge. Isn't that right, Jason?
Yeah,
or vanilla in your
sure,
book,
I guess. Well, gonna be getting live soon, and then it's all on this this comeback from Luminosity. See if they can do it. As mentioned earlier, this is not a map they want to be dropping. This is not a team they should be dropping a map to. So it could have implications down the stretch towards the later stages of the season when they're competing for a playoff spot.
Yeah, I mean, there's fewer teams, which in a way has made it even more cutthroat for the teams that we expect to see going through. Because now these games versus, you know, the teams which I guess are more looking to just exist within the Pro League, not to make playoffs, but they want to stick around, right? I mean, they're now made that much more important because there's fewer of them, and the pressure's definitely on for Luminosity. They're one of the teams that I think we would imagine will make it through to the playoff stage, but every map counts, in particular these ones. It looks like we are about to be heading back into this first half. Currently the scoreline at 3-7 in favor of Team Dignitas. The last 3 rounds have gone the way of Luminosity as they've started to find their footing here on the CT side. Buy's going to be coming in for either team. Dignitas looking to try and maintain this lead.
See what they've got. Last buy before the money finally runs out. Op on Voltage, 2 AKs and 2 Deagles. Again, fast towards the B bomb site. This has been stopped pretty cold the past few times they've ran it, and indeed they do slow down. Nekiz has been the hero at the B bomb site for Luminosity. Other than this play towards B from Dignitas, there's no other real aggression across the map. Everyone is playing it very far back, so you imagine they want to give Voltage time to peek into this B site and see if he can find a pick of some sort. Showtime at an off angle to his right. PKL far back to his left. And he's not even going to push forward. He's hoping someone peeks into him, and that opportunity is not being given up by the Brazilians. 50 seconds left in the round. Small engagement, spamming through some of the walls. And that smoke is going to slow things down. That'll bring us to about 30 seconds left in the clock before Monster is clear. And all the meanwhile, Cello is grabbing all this information. Dignitas, this is not going to go well for them.
Yeah, once again, they run into the might of Nekiz and Showtime, this duo that has been shutting it down over in B. Showtime's on 3. And Voltage, missed shot. That would have been an opportunity to pull it back at all. 1 on 4. Now there's Cello and Nekiz both behind him. There's no way that he survives this ordeal. He's been able to get 1, but he will be traded out by Cello. Luminosity going to be on to a 4th. Nekiz, he was quiet until a few rounds ago. Now he's, I can assure you, he's not 12-0. The scoreboard is slightly broken.
Well, we can also assure you that there's not 4 players on Dignitas who have 0 kills. So, yeah, the scores are going to be a little screwy due to all the restarts and everything along those lines. But either way, the only one that matters is up top, 7-4. Pistols for Team Dignitas as their losing bonus is climbing, but they just simply don't have the money. They haven't had any success, not even bomb plants in these last few rounds, which has got to be worrying. After such a blistering start, Dignitas has gone extremely cold.
Yeah, and well, they're trying to heat things up a bit here by rushing in toward A. Peeking out, nicely waiting to keep him at bay. They are running on out into him. They get himself 2. Cello pulls things back, and While Grim gets 1 kill, that will be it for them in this round. Luminosity now on to a 5th. The buy going to be coming in for Dignitas. They can get everything they possibly need. The AWP going to be out for Voltage. Everyone else with full utility behind these AKs. And with that little bit of extra cash, a bomb plant here means they can actually buy into the next round as well. So, not too disappointed with that.
Tough part is we haven't seen too much imagination in this T side, which is mostly relied on some hits towards that B bomb site in these past 5 rounds. They've ran it like 3 times, and they've been shut down every single time. So obviously, might as well go away from that at this point.
Yeah, it's looking like they want to go for just a set piece out here towards A. All 5 players here. Now Cello's going to aggressive up through long. He has Yell there. They have a bait and switch setup for Yell to try and grab the initial spot of attention. Peek Yell also inside of the site, so it's a 3-man stack over here toward A. Cello, he's in an important spot. That smoke goes over, doesn't want to peek on the back of it. And a shot from Yell, but it doesn't matter. It baited Mitch forward and now allows Cello to find a frag. Peek Yell going to drop Exceed. The trade comes through. Yell's crossed back into the site, and he's not done just yet. He smites down at 1 more. Voltage and Grim left alive, and Yell now onto a 2nd. Gonna go peeking on into this. Grim's been allowed to get 1, but now he's 1v3. Bomb on his back and 25 seconds to work with. Starts to go on in, and it's a Grim tail as he falls at the end. Luminosity in with a 6th.
Yeah, this is looking like a completely different, well, both teams looking completely different from what we saw in the first 7 rounds. This was, if you're just tuning in, a 7-0 lead for Team Dignitas at 1 point. And they have just been shut down all across the board, all across the map since then. Luminosity really coming alive. I mentioned after such a dominant first map win, there's sometimes is a tendency to have a slow start on the following, the second map of the series, or of the set. Still, 0-7 was pretty surprising. Molotov going to slow things down. Actually going to go right through it. Nekiz does spray down 1 through the smoke. Going to get a follow-up as well. And now the rest of it coming through from Monster is going to get cleaned up. Nekiz again with 4 kills. He's been... That's like literally 12 kills alone when they've hit the B bomb site for him. I don't think he's gotten less than a triple kill.
No, there was 1 round where he only got 1, and it was because Showtime got 4.
Okay.
So, other than that, though, you are bang on. He's been the dominant one down on B. This has been 7 rounds in a row for Luminosity, by the way. Now they look to try and do what Dignitas did and 1 more. The most petty way of beating someone at their own game. And Showtime going to be dropping Mitch on out. They want to try and win the half at 8-7, which is pretty insane when you consider this was 7-0 at one point in time in favor of Dignitas. The early man advantage is certainly going to help as they look to try and pick up this lead.
Well, here we go. All 4 players leading the way. This is a bomb site, and PKL, that's an immediate kill. Immediate dink in the follow-up after that. It's the bomb as well. Yell going to rotate back with that AWP, so he's got a crossfire set up with teammate inside the site, and he's doing a perfect job of covering him, and PKL just will not be moved out of this position, and Voltage hasn't even seen an opponent yet in this round. 1 versus 5. He's got Cello flanking behind him, so it's just a matter of time here as he pushes forward and won't even take a shot in the round. 8-7, Luminosity recover and win 8 in a row.
Yeah, that is just utterly fantastic stuff from them to pull it back. Dignitas, they've got to be feeling a little bit drained after that one. It was a 7-0 lead their way early on, and now 8-7 as Luminosity go ahead and win 8 consecutively to win out this first half. Moving on to the T side, can they keep this good form going? They look to try and close this series out 2-0. Dignitas, the pressure is well and truly on. They're going to be moving on to the, you know what some would say is the more favored side of the 2. Although I think it does certainly depend on the roster and who's playing. It's split almost straight down the middle at the end of this first half. Although I feel like the way these rounds have gone, I would say Luminosity are leaps and bounds ahead right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, you combine the first map, certainly. And that was kind of the chatter in the pre-games as well. That's part of the reason why it was so surprising to see that quick 7-0 lead from Dignitas in the first half. So things seem to have normalized. As Luminosity wins 8 straight, they're going to switch over to the T side, and we'll see exactly what they have to offer on the offensive side of the map. It is important to keep in mind this Dignitas roster is formerly Soar Gaming. They were in Mountain Dew League in the previous season, and this is their first season in Pro League for, I think, pretty much every single player. I think all of them, in fact. It actually was all 5 players their first season that we competing at this level, so there is going to be a learning curve. Luminosity may be just too tough for them at the moment, although promising things to be able to go up 7-0 on them after such a tough blowout loss in the first map.
Yeah, no, definitely. They have demonstrated a good deal of resilience thus far. And I think you are bang on. I think this is... I think that's the case for everyone apart from Mitch. I think he has played in Pro League with Splice. But,
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You mentioned that.
Other than that, yeah, the first time for all of these guys moving up from the Mountain Dew League. Which, you know, I'm a big fan of that progression. I love seeing when these teams do come up on the rise. It's even better when they tend to do quite well. Dignitas, of course, there is that learning curve, as you say. Luminosity right now, they sit pretty high up on the curve. So it is going to be a real test for Dignitas, and they've had to learn that the hard way. There's no denying it. After a quick thrashing on Cobble, and then, despite a good start, now an 8-7 scoreline in favor of Luminosity. Things are looking tricky. Luminosity now on the T side in this second half. They get to set the pace. They get to pick the fights. And they've decided that B is the object of their desires. 4 players here for Dignitas. Voltage and Mitch, they've done some damage. The bomb's been dropped. Pikiat tries to pull it back, but MCE, he started to shut this down. Yell's left in a 1 versus 3. Rotations coming on through. And yeah, with 1 minute and 25 seconds left, reroutes back over here towards Monster.
Nice stack from Dignitas. Counter flashes of their own, and that's a big swing. Finally, a response from Dignitas. Their first in 8 rounds. That's now both pistols won by Dignitas in this map, so this should give them a pretty decent advantage, all things considered. And without a bomb plant, Luminosity going to invest here. Deagle armor, CZ's armor. Everyone fully invested on this T side. Pretty scary, even though it was a great recovery from Luminosity. They let Dignitas get so many T rounds that's a very solid half regardless for this new roster. Cello opens up. That seems like a very long-range kill, so I have to imagine Voltage is going to be pretty frustrated. Obviously, that CZ is a pretty deadly animal. That's a great nade, though. Exceed over to the left, and there's the pop flash. There's the peak, and even Mitch chiming in with one more out towards long. Gonna go for more, brings him down low, but not able to get anything else, and all of a sudden they're both dead. They've fallen before the rest of their teammates are here, so great chance, great opportunity, and that nade just barely misses, and the SMG not going to do enough damage. This flank has to be so successful, and utility usage is going to give away Grim's position as he comes up the stairwell. One in the bomb site, not even reacting, and there's PKL with the win, and all of a sudden MCE has nothing to really do here. This round is lost, so Luminosity going to return the favor in the second round. It'll be a 9th for them. And Dignitas again is going to have to fight their way back into it.
Yeah, he's gone creeping on in, and you can't imagine you're going to get away with an injury here. Neckers hears it, and that will be the round going the way of Luminosity. 2 players do go down at the end, though, so they don't get out of that with anything for free, apart from the MP7 carried forward from PKL. But I'm going to be coming on through, and they're pretty keen on keeping this lead. They get 3 rifles up, the MP7 and the MP7 carried forward in the UMP as well to try and make some money. Dignitas aren't going to invest anything. Instead, they want to go for a buy in the next round.
Stack over at the B bomb site for Dignitas isn't really going to yield them anything. Although Luminosity is still playing it pretty slow on the other side of the map, so if they react in time, they're going to have a clever little boost here to peer through the windows towards the stairwell. The only person really susceptible to it at the moment is Cello, who's watching for a push at door. Other than that, nobody nearby. Just under a minute remaining. Still spread across the map is Luminosity. A couple players starting to probe and peek into that A bomb site from long. The stack, as time goes on, just getting more and more useless as Cello and PKL both are avoiding the staircase. Here comes the hit onto the A bomb site, and it should be a free take. There's no one here for Dignitas.
I just cannot be afforded that whole site for free. Now the rotation does come through from Dig. You can't imagine they're too keen for people to try and go for it. With all these USPs, sure, you know, you might be able to find something, but you've run the risk of going down to the SMGs and allowing Luminosity to follow up that much more money. So they're going to stick around over here towards toilets, and Cello will be there. Spots them over here at long, where we see Dignitas players. He sees fleshy pinatas full of money for this MP7. Pretty grim analogy, but that's the truth. Mitch been able to find one down to Cello. So that's the MP7 dropped. With everyone else here, they're just going to pick them up, no problem. Allowing Luminosity a 10th round. And now for Dignitas, there isn't actually any money here to invest, so it's going to be another eco once again, and that's where the lack of investment in the previous round does become a bit of a weird one, but it allows them that much more utility into round number 5.
Yeah, but he's letting Luminosity get a pretty solid lead overall. Spam coming through, and he is going to find Voltage. There's a good start to the rounds for PKL. Looks like Dignitas wants to go for that very same boost as it wasn't spotted in the previous round. Thinking maybe they'll stumble into it this time, and I guess there's some logic to that. They did make noise, though, and I think that just means they're going to give it up. And the door's open, and now Yell knows exactly what's coming. He even checked for that boost as well, so might not have mattered in the long run. There's a good aggressive play out towards long B through Monster. Flashbang is going to net a kill onto PKL, and Yell just waiting for the flank to come in up the stairs. Pre-firing, and MCE walks into it, but still completes the kill. And now Showtime's got to turn around. The Molotov will do the work for him, help his team get into the site, help the bomb get planted safely. And Luminosity well on their way to their 11th round.
Yeah, so for Dignitas now, they are buying up in the next round regardless. They're going to look to try and do something here. Grim. He's dead. Along with MCE, who is over at long. Showtime going to get tagged down low. Cello peeks on out. It does find MC. Going to be an 11th round, as you say, for Luminosity, and they do keep 3 players alive.
Almost takes his teammate out. So yeah, that AK-47 that's going to be saved moving forward is a good find for Dignitas. 11-8. Big round for Dignitas to try and stem the bleeding and keep things close. They're going to invest everything they have into this round, and if it's a loss, might have to sit a round out, which would be so very hurtful at this point in the game, at this juncture. AWP on Voltage hands, that's out towards long A. Exceed is in the bathrooms. 3 players over here towards the B bomb site. B bomb site is indeed where the main attack will be coming in. But not enough pressure has been applied to really alert this Dignitas defense.
CTLE going to be lined up, ready to go on through. PKL. He's the pincer, but the rest of the guys already making contact. Mitch is there just to farm these up, and well, now the 3 remaining players going to look to try and come in, albeit quite late in through long. Mitch is posted up along with Grim to try and keep him at bay. Grim's going to go down. Mitch now goes peeking in after. He's going to fall prey to Cello, and the man advantage being given away. Take it in, and PKL. Ooh, such an incredibly tight angle to try and hold. They start to rotate away. Yell actually trying to blaze a trail up here towards this A bomb site, and Voltage and Exceed both rotating off of B, and they've read this well. Now they've spotted Yellow over here at the long angle. Bomb's going to quickly duck back down towards B, but Voltage is already up in the heavens.
Cello baits out the shot. Going to get the plant down as well. No nade to stop that, and missing the spam as well. Exceed now here. Yell's got to be careful how he plays this. If his teammates die too quickly, he's out of position to try and help them whatsoever. So we'll see. 2-on-3 retake. Actually, I think they're just going to give it up. Voltage and Exceed at one point just get down here, and they say, we don't want anything to do with this. Now, they did save that AK-47 from the previous round, so Exceed will likely be able to drop over 1 rifle. So it's not the worst idea, because they'll have another buy in the next one.
Yeah, Exceed going to be able to drop, and well, Voltage can drop over like a FAMAS or something. Grim can buy, so they will have rifles across the board if they choose to go for it.
You almost have to, I think. I'm actually surprised to see them not drop an M4 and a FAMAS. Need to be fighting for these rounds, but either way, they're going to play it extremely conservative. And seems to be the site of choice. And look at the angle. Voltage, he takes his time to line up that shot and misses it. And with that presence shown at this angle, they're going to get all the way up into the bomb site. No one is here from Dignitas to really mount the defense. They don't have to worry about going sandbags. They're just going to control everything else here at this B bomb site. PKL has been legged. Look at Yell waiting for the sound cues and can't win. Great shot from Mitch.
Yes, Dignitas, they actually have the man advantage, but that bomb's been taken down for quite some time. Exceed on the kit could be the real difference maker, and MCE now flanking around from behind. PKL does lie in wait and is able to find him. 3 players grouped up on short, and Voltage still looking down range here towards long at Showtime. Mops up 2 over on short. Voltage going to be able to drop PKL, but Cello's in the pit. Neck is going to catch Voltage off guard from behind, and Luminosity just like that. They are going to be on to a 13th round. The buy can come in now for Dignitas. They've got everything they could possibly need, but they've got to stick it all into this one round. And this is do or die. If they lose this, they're going to be reset. Force buying until the end of their time in this map.
Good opening kill from Voltage to start things off. He's going to get away for free as well. Showtime making gains up long A. And the rest of this team will come position though. Where Where does Luminosity decide to go from here? Just a dry peek out wide from Yell. He gets picked off, so all of a sudden a 3-on-5. And rotations coming in for the defense as they feel no pressure towards this B bomb site. It's PKL who can turn this round on its head. He's been spotted out, but finds the timing exceed. A little bit of an awkward jump, a little bit of an awkward fight. Ready for a big flank. MCE is on a long flank, and it's just Voltage and Mitch to hold off as long as humanly possible. 45 seconds left.
Yeah, and MCE might be about to discover everything. Timing is going to be everything here. And he just misses the timing onto the players over at long. Instead, peeks into middle. On the heels in through the long angle. Mitch has the full back. Voltage up on the truck. Able to find Neckers. Still has more players coming his way. DKL going to shut down one more, but Voltage, one off the ace. Grim's going to steal it from him. And Dignitas will be in with a 9th round.
Yeah, just Voltage being able to have too much space. Gets a kill, has plenty of time, plenty of room to find a new angle, find a new spot. Add in another one and then just repeat the process. A good win from Dignitas, though, prevents themselves from getting too harshly reset. Now they have some very minimal money built up as a buffer. But they've got to string them together here. Luminosity going to go for control of short very quickly, and Voltage could get caught out. So could the second player. It is 2 quick headshots for showtime. No need to press the issue if you're Luminosity. You know there has to be a response at some. And so quickly, 20 seconds into the round, it's just 2 players for Dignitas, MCE and Mitch, with everything to do. They are both over at the B bomb site. I think Luminosity is going to let him sweat this one out for a bit.
Luminosity, as you say, just letting them stew in it, and that seems to be the right call to make. The pressure is on now for these 2 Dignitas players. Looks like they're just going to be playing retake on A. As they sit down here at this B bomb site. Showtime's been spotted, and he will be taken down by Mitch. Go ahead and smoke off long. It's bought them that much more time. Missed shot from Yellow over on. Bomb looking like it wants to rotate away, and that's on the back of all this information from there, because they know they have the site secure. Both players down at B. At this point for Dignitas, the decision is to save or go for this, and the rotations are going to take a very long time to come through. They were playing for the for this decision. If Luminosity went towards B, then they could take the fight 2 versus 4, but if they go up towards A, they will just elect to hold on to.
If you're Dignitas, even if you want to, you need to have these guns for the next round and maybe be able to drop something over that can help your team fight for it. So it'll be a 14th, an immediate response from Luminosity. This would be a disaster to lose that gun, and I believe he is going to. Yell just has to connect 1 bullet with the Glock. Apparently, though, he's going to go back to the AWP, and there's PKL finally to shut him down. It's a very valuable loss for the Dignitas side as the bomb goes off. 14 rounds now for Luminosity, inching closer to this 2-0. Tough call to make, though. And they're gonna, for the most part, save. MCE does buy a scout, but just a CZ and some utility. Neckes has been knifed down to 39 HP by his team. So Luminosity doing their best to provide a small handicap as Mitch starts to burn. It's down in the staircase, or excuse me.
MC with that scout investment doesn't get anything done at Neckes. Makes that look easy. Mitch, he's dead in 2 shots, and he needs to land 2 onto Cello. And mine just takes the 1 to the dome. Voltage. Sneaking in through long. You know, holding the angle. going to get rid of him. Makes it look easy. Both the players that are still alive for Dignitas are grouped up here outside the door. And things are about to look pretty dire for them. Oh, I don't know what's just happened here. They are walking by Grim. I don't know how that... I don't know what just went on. It was very confusing. Luminosity onto a 15th anyway. Map and series point as they want to try and take it 2-0.
Looking likely at the moment. Voltage is going to have that op back in his hands, and he did have that stellar round with it just a few ago. We'll see if he can repeat the process. 15-9. Luminosity, one more round in their favor, and it's all over. Voltage with the peek, and he peeks right into a firing squad. 3 players from Luminosity are there. They're going to come up the staircase. It's Exceed is the next point of defense. He's all alone, though, and if that smoke clears and he's not able to get away, actually, they push right through Monster. That just might be the round right there. Exceed can still turn things around, but he comes through smoke also, so it is going to be a 16th here for Luminosity. There's really not a whole lot Mitch can do to stop this. Bomb is going to be planted right now. He's got no kit, and they know exactly where he is.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way back into this one, Jason. It would be a clutch for the ages. It's not the case. Luminosity, they will win this out 2-0 as they manage to take Cobble and then Overpass. Both looking pretty dominant. They stumbled a little bit early on Overpass, but they come back to win it out in the end. A very lengthy game. But we managed to arrive at the end of it unscathed.
Yeah, it was cool to see the start from Dignitas. Would have been nice to see them kind of be able to carry that forward. Obviously stopped by some unfortunate technical circumstances that kind of ruined the momentum. But overall, at least they have some bright spot to bring from, you know, this 16-5 trouncing on Cobble. So Overpass going a little bit better for them. But overall, they're still in that phase where they have to kind of learn to adapt and learn to be able to compete at this level.
Yeah, definitely so. All in all, though, I think Luminosity, they can be pretty happy with that. They get the wins that they needed. And, of course, you know, everyone's going to be stressing how important these are when you're up against the slightly objectively weaker teams in this division. Luminosity, they can rest easy tonight, knowing that they got both of them under their belt. Yeah, they absolutely needed that kind of a victory. That was the one, you know, if you drop this is not a playoff contender, this Dignitas team, not yet. So dropping this map would be very hurtful to their playoff chances down the stretch. Regardless, either way, we do have the analyst here with us, so we can send it over to the guys to talk us through all that crazy wackiness.
Crazy wackiness, yes indeed. That is absolutely correct. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
And Harold. You guys have been troopers all night long. But I would have to say that most importantly, you came and you tried. In Dignitas, you have a bright future, and it's just going to take a little bit longer to get there. However, that was a pretty good showing by Luminosity, regardless, especially on the first map, at least when I think back to it. And what could possibly be impeding us from moving forward right now wouldn't be Pimp or them or anything really and truly. Oh, there we go. So, guys, I have to ask Pimp as a favor to Dignitas here. What do you have to say to the boys in yellow and black?
I mean, the positive start is always something you can take with them for this game, for sure. A little bit unsatisfying again that they get off to such a good start and don't manage to convict it into anything. You know, it's basically just a good start and then runs out to anything or anything. Yeah. So I feel things are showing a little bit of potential, definitely better than Cobblestone. We set the bar low and said it has to be better than Cobblestone, and we did see progress, right? But there's a lot that needs to be worked on. That said, though, it is Luminosity they're playing against, and not sure this is the real matchup for them. You know, they need to take the punch from elsewhere, and maybe not the Luminosity guys who are just proven to be a little bit too strong now, also leading the Pro League entirely now. So off to a good start, LG and Dignitas. You know, it can only get better. It can only get better. However, I've got a real treat for you. Let's talk about APAC right now.
APAC, yeah. So obviously it's been announced that ESL are expanding their finals, which means more spots to see, you know, pretty much the entire global scene of Counter-Strike coming together. And with that, 2 more spots are being opened for the Asian region as well. And as you can see here, a pretty detailed bracket of what's to come. with China, Southeast Asia, and obviously Australia and New Zealand getting open qualifiers, direct invites, and so on, which will take them on to regional matches, and eventually that'll end up in the APAC finals in the ESL studio in Sydney, which is going to be in April on the 20th to the 22nd. And obviously, the top 2 from that event is going to make it to the big event itself, which is the ESL finals.
So you're telling me that the APAC culminates to a LAN on 420 within the Sydney region?
That's exactly correct. And obviously, yeah, as mentioned, the top 2 there, they get to make it to the big grand finals and get the chance to duke it out versus the best teams in the world.
Duke it out with the best teams in the world. They will have that opportunity. But right now, we're going to take a look at the European best teams in the world. That's right. This is today's match day. And Pimp, in your fastest manner possible, walk us through this.
I mean, a day of splits, I guess. LDLC, quite surprisingly, managing to take down Envious 2-0. I guess that's the highlight of the day. Navi and Space Soldiers splitting maps. Same goes for North and Mouse Watch. Pretty standard as usual for the European season. Always close games over there.
Sharing is caring.
Let's go ahead and kick it to NA. Halvor, you got one shot at this. Please don't mess it up.
Not going to miss my chance to do this. So obviously we saw Optic taking the 2-0 victory versus Complexity. A bit more of a tight contest in the second map. Splice versus Energy, pretty easy victories, I'd say, for Energy. So they get off to a great start to the season. And obviously we ended the night with Luminosity dismantling of Dignitas.
Well, guess what? There's more Pro League tomorrow. Match day number 5 to be exact. Let's go ahead and take a look at the European matches that we have here in Navi, and I believe that's the
HGO.
Is it AGO?
Yeah, HGO,
It's pretty distant for me. I'm not really close enough to it.
Eyesight is, getting worse with the years.
It is. I am getting older. I'm not as old as Jason, so I got that going for me. But
that is also
fighting tomorrow, right? In the European division. Gotta check that out.
Yeah, Heroic and Hellraisers doing battle, and then obviously to end at LDLC and North. Over on the NA side of things, Optic taking on Cloud9. That should be a pretty hefty matchup.
Should be, and for all intents and purposes, I do believe that is going to be one of the more exciting matchups of the evening. However, an SK Liquid thriller as well.
Not bad.
We know Liquid to be on the up and up, so it would appear as though we do have some pretty good matches tomorrow. Gonna have to conserve some energy, gonna have to get some good rest tonight. And if you're just joining us, you should probably go back to sleep as well, because it is seemingly early across the entire planet right now. And I think that just about does it for us here. Holy moly, red beans and ravioli. We're done here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you join us again.